Hey everybody, this is James from Rattlesnake Defense. Today we're going to talk about gun registries and the lack thereof. All right, so this is a big one I get all the time. I don't know how to do this subtly, so I'm just going to. There's no gun registry. There is no gun registry. The gun's not in your name. There's no registry. Such a thing doesn't exist. So let me explain. A lot of people get this perception from Hollywood or TV or wherever they're getting their information. And again, asterisks. I'm not speaking for every municipality in every state. There are some states this may be true. I'm speaking from my case here in West Virginia, which is where this business is. This is where we do all of our transactions. No gun in West Virginia is in anyone's name. That's not a thing. There is the original purchaser. So we have what's called a bound book. The bound book has the information of when and from where we received every serial numbered item we've ever had and to whom we sold it to and where, and then references the paperwork for that transaction. That information stays here on premises and it doesn't go anywhere else. So a gun that you bought from us in 2008 isn't in some database in the state or the federal government, I hope, because we used to call those transactions in. A lot of those were called in on the phone before the internet stuff was even available. So we never filled out the gun information until after we checked the background check. So for the most part, there's not even any way for them to know up until relatively recently when everything started to go online. So we have a book that has every gun we've ever had, where we got it, when we got it, where we got it from, who we sold it to, and all the reference numbers for all the paperwork that goes with that transaction. And like I said, that information stays here. It's not in some database where somebody can pull up a serial number off one of these ARs and tell you who bought it. Such a thing doesn't exist. So if your boyfriend bought you a gun and you broke up and you're afraid that you're the boyfriend, you're afraid that she may do something nefarious with that gun and that serial number's in your name. It's not. It's just not. I understand the fear. Okay, you're still the original purchaser. But if somebody comes to you and says, hey, something happened with this particular gun, and you say, well, I gifted it to this individual, that's going to be the end of the transaction. I have a little personal experience with this. I had a gun trace come back on me one time. As long as I was able to tell them where the gun went, and that was the end of it. That was all they needed to know. So it's not a huge database like on the TV and the movies where they type in a serial number and they say, well, X has 3 weapons registered to him and so forth and so on. Like I said, that may happen on a state level, especially in a lot of the anti-gun states. I know that some of the cities you have to register your firearms, but for the most part out here in the sticks, that's just not the case. So in West Virginia, there is no gun registry. If you come in and you insist that I put a gun in somebody's name, there's not even a way for me to do that. Now, if you want to sell a gun to an individual and you want to run a background check on them, I have no problem with that. I'll run the background check on them, make sure they're clear, log the gun into my book, and then log it out to that individual, which, of course, I'd have to charge a little bit to do that because it takes my time and resources, but that's something we can do. But for the most part, that gun isn't in anyone's name. It's not laying around in somebody's name. So this is a misconception I've heard of a lot. If you guys know about your specific municipalities or states and there's something separate from this, let me know in the comments. I'm sorry, I just don't have the resources to know all of the laws. There's so many and they change so often. But here, for the most part, and anywhere around us, no such thing exists. So I hope that helps a little bit. I hope that maybe dissuades some fear. The most recent example of this is someone had inherited some firearms from their now deceased grandfather, and they come in and they wanted to put the guns in their name, and I tried to explain to them that that's not something that I can do. That I literally have no mechanism to do that. I could log the guns in and log it back out to them, but that's really doesn't change anything because all that information stays here. It never leaves this store. And I get a lot of resistance on that. I'm not sure why. I've been in the gun business most of my life, so you know. So there's that. I hope that helps. That is all I got for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, I'm going to put my Discord link below. Email, hit me up in the comments. If you have information about your particular municipality or state, put that in the comments too so other people can reference it. Thank you guys very much, and I appreciate you watching.